Hey, welcome back there. This is Jim Bob. You can call me Jim Bob. I used to go by Jim, but some girls I was dating recently, they said, "Can we call you Jim Bob?" And I said, "Sure." The topic tonight is, will banks and insurance companies rip you off if you don't keep good records? And I'm dealing with it right now. The last 2 days, I don't think I mentioned anything about this last night when we were talking. Let's get my hair looking decent here. But in there we go. Now I look presentable and believable and credible. Okay. A bank lost my account number and all the money in it. Here in Madison, Indiana. I won't give you the name here because I'm liable to get sued. Um, I looked on the internet from my internet banking, and when my accounts disappeared. Yeah, I'm going to tell you what to do about this, okay? This isn't just a story about what happened to me. It's how you can fix it when it happens to you, because it will happen to you 3 or 4 times in the next month, probably. Well, let me tell you this first. Same bank. Starts with the word first, FIRST. I go and mention this. I've mentioned this in another video, but anyhow, I go and take out money out of a ATM machine connected to the bank, the main bank here in Madison. By that name that starts with first. And I only had a few $100s in there. And before 2.5 hours are over, I'm missing, it's going toward, let's say, I had mentioned 3,000 something before, but let's just round it off to 4,000 since I'm being kind of general about this. And I go into the bank and I tell them, I said, how does my account with $400 end up with the extra 4,000 being taken out? Half of it from a company in New York City, and the other half down there in Miami, Florida. How can you let that happen, number one? And how could I have gone to both places, set up checking accounts there, incorporated there, and wrote those checks there, and received the money by now? How come it's out of my account? Now, you gotta listen to this. It's never their fault. Well, perhaps you're mistaken, Mr. Jim Bob. I said, well, let's go into a private room and turn on a computer and look at my account. And you're going to see me taking out $100 before noon. And then I found out I had to buy something else in the afternoon. You know, we all have to have something to drink, don't we? So I had to get another $100. I guess I was feeling kind of good that day, and I was going to buy something to drink extra expensive. We go in there. I know the girl. Her name's Candace. Candace, I think it was Candace. I know two girls there that's very, very, very attractive and go out of their way to help me. But I think it was Candace. I think she also goes by the name Candy. I call her Candy. So we go in there and we pull up my account, and there it is. couple hours before, I have $400 in it. And now I have a minus 4,000. Never get a debit card. Point one, learn it from me first. Do not get a debit card. Because anybody that has a particular type of scanner, if they pass by, they can penetrate your purse or your billfold and pull the numbers off the back and front, including the security number. 3-digit security number. And then your account number is either on the back or front. They can pull that off too. Now, having told that, this another banker says, you hadn't heard it all yet. They can do that from another car. They can have a scanner. I don't know if it looks like a flashlight or what. They can send it into another car and pick up the driver's or the passenger's numbers off the credit card. Okay, but please stay with me this whole thing, because credit card federal laws are different than ATM and debit cards. Debit cards do not have to give you your money back. Especially if they do it from another country. The federal law doesn't say this in quite those number of words. Here's what they say. We got 60 or so many days. If you have a debit card or ATM card, we got either 60 or 90 days to do a investigation. Well, I have to take out a daggone loan to put that $4,000 back in there at no interest. They like me. I've been with them since 30 years, since I bought the first house here. So I get a no interest loan. They put it back in there. No charges. I'm just telling you this is true. And my stomach and intestines and bathroom methods, bathroom habits wasn't normal that day. And I went to every bank that I had a debit card and told them cancel it and cut it up. I gave it to them. I said, I want to see you shred it, because their laws is different than Visa. That's why I want you to stick with me during this whole thing. It's different than Visa or MasterCard or American Express credit card. I'm not saying if it says Visa or MasterCard and it says debit, that's not it. You've got one rule for debit cards and ATM cards. You got a different rule for credit cards. I've had money taken out of my credit cards. They put it back in the same day. The same day. They did a report, told why it was taken out without my permission. They stuck the money in the same day if it was a regular credit card. If it's a debit, no such rules at all. You check it out if you don't after this video. You check it out. You'll find they don't have to return the money. Now, after the investigation, if the investigation turns out to lean toward your side, they'll put the money back in. If you've waited too long, guess what happens? This is Coke, by the way. Good tasting Coke. lot of y'all have heard me talk about this event before. Well, the either 60 or 90 days went by, and it got cleared up. We forgot about it until yesterday. I go in and I say, the Roth IRA. You know what a Roth IRA is? That's an individual retirement account that you've already paid taxes on, so you would never have to pay taxes on anything that you bought with it in the future. I'm not sure I quoted that right. You don't have, no, it's not considered capital gains or anything. That's what I mean. Capital gains would mean if it went from $1 to $100, like it was an Apple computer, if it went from $1 to $100 and it was Apple computer, I could take that $100 out, and if it's in a Roth IRA, you don't have to pay tax on it. If it's not in a Roth IRA but a regular IRA, you're going to pay capital gains tax on that $99, which could be $40 tax or more by the time the administration changes or stays the same. Stays the same. That would happen. Now, why am I telling you this? That's just another bonus. I'm throwing at you. Didn't aim to tell you about Roth IRAs, but that's the truth. If you switch your IRAs, if you do have individual retirement accounts and you switch it to a Roth IRA, that means you pay tax on it now on any capital gains. But if you're lucky, like I am, and it runs up 100%, you don't have to pay capital gains on that 100% you just made. And that's a bonus. We're going to cover that. Okay, here's what happened. My Roth IRA account disappeared at the bank that starts with First. Hello? You took the money I never have to pay tax on and tell me I don't have an account with you anymore. Let me take I need another drink. That says bullet, but I don't think it's all bullet. So here we are. And I call Fidelity. That's Fidelity Investments. That's that and Vanguard's the two we use. That I think is most credible. And they were this time. They said, yes, you've got a Roth IRA with us, and we sent it to that bank. The money you requested, as you requested. We sent it. Now it's being invested at Fidelity Investments till I need it, and then I can say I need $100 or $1,000 or $400. So they sent it to the bank that starts with First, and then they said, you've got a problem, Leroy. You've got a problem. I said, it's not Leroy, it's Jim Bob. I said, Jim Bob, you've got a problem. And it's called a bank problem. Okay. I didn't even deal with this today, okay, because I had another problem. The other problem was I sent $2,200 from my Medicare B supplement for reimbursement. I could get it back. Did you know you could get it back? That's another bonus. If you have regular Medicare, not Medicare Advantage, if you have regular Medicare, that B, I was able to send that to a health. Let's see. No, I was able to deduct that, get it back. I got back the money that I paid into Medicare B, but it came out of a health savings account by another company called Health Equity Company. I've been on the phone to 2 whole days with them. I got a headache, splitting headache. So forgive me for blanking out and forgetting, but I called them one time yesterday, one time last night this time, and twice today. I said, I request that $2,200 from my Medicare B. And they were supposed to send it. They were supposed to put it into the checking account part of the health savings account, and they didn't. What do you think happened to the checks I wrote, thinking it was in there? Well, I didn't write any. I tell you what happened was I needed to write checks, so I just went ahead and sold some stocks from the first half of it, which was the stock market, and had it transferred into the savings account. So I thought they had refunded my $2,200, but they didn't. Didn't know it until a day or two ago. This is confusing. I don't expect for you to follow me completely on this one, but please stick with me on this. They owed me $2,200 since February when I made the request. And I didn't catch it until I went through all of the withdrawals and deposits that was on the computer. I caught it yesterday. That's why I started calling. They put me through. Are you ready for this? What's your last 4 digits of your Social Security card? What's the first 4 digits? Oh, what's the digits of your house number? What was the first car you ever owned? And don't just tell us it was a Ford. Tell us a Ford what? You think I'm done yet? What's your birth date? What's your middle initial? Did you ever live on one of these 4 streets? Now go through this. The 4th time was a few hours ago. I said, lady, I haven't moved since I started making phone calls yesterday. My name hasn't changed. My address hadn't changed. The car I owned as my first car hasn't changed. And each time I was verified before I even talked to a person, and now you won't talk to me. You know why you won't talk to me? Because I have an old cell phone and you're sending 5 digits and it won't pick up digits anymore. Therefore, you're saying you can't prove who I say I am, even though you're looking at the request and it has the same phone number that you're seeing right now. The same phone number I'm calling on right now is on each sheet of those 3 sheets I sent on February the 22nd of this year. I hung up on 2 today. I said I'm just going to switch my account from Health Equity to Fidelity because you all don't know what you're doing, don't care what you're doing. You'll never each time I ask for a supervisor, you say that you don't have a supervisor, and I say that's what's wrong with you all because you don't have a supervisor, so you can say and do whatever you want to do. So I hung up on her, and I'll take care of this in the future. Like I said, I'll probably switch it to Fidelity. They do have health savings accounts, just in case you won't want to know that. So okay, I have a health savings account here that's hanging on to $2,200 that won't put it into my account. So if I died right now, they get to keep it. I have a bank here in town that starts with First, that if I died right now, all my retirement money, or a lot of it, they get to keep. The only way around this is I ordered from Amazon a book of preparing for your last days and what to leave those that have to deal with your death. Yeah, I ordered that today because they need to know all this. We got the last four digits. We finally got it from Fidelity, the last four digits of the account that they were sending money to the bank that disappeared my Roth account. We pulled that off the internet. Okay, now let's go to insurance for a while because I was an insurance salesman. Now that's part one of tonight. Actually, I threw in a few extra bonuses like ATM cards and debit cards and things like that. So, okay, part one dealt with bank issues and how they can make an account disappear. And I would tell you this too. The same bank had an account made in me and my wife's name. That's not good English. But it was in her name and my name. They must have made a few $100s setting it up because there wasn't a penny in it. And we closed it about a year ago. They had that on file. Now, can you believe this? They said, we see where you closed it down. I said, that wasn't a Roth IRA. That was some scam that someone in here made to make a few extra dollars when the more accounts a bank could make. And Wells Fargo almost got shut down for doing this. Wells Fargo Bank, they were setting up so many false accounts that they paid millions, if not billions of dollars in fines because they got so much money for each account. So I said, look at that. That's not a Roth IRA that we closed down. Roth IRAs are only in one person. This was an account that we never set up, that we both had to sign to close a year ago. Why am I telling you all this? So you be very careful. Start today. Document everything. Keep a file. Order 100 or 200 file folders, and every time you need to, something goes a little strange like this, label it, date it, and put the information in there, even if it's just a page of notes from a phone call. Part two is insurance. It's going to be shorter. This will surprise you. I work for Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. What I'm about ready to say applies to all insurance companies. I have no proof whatsoever that it applies to Metropolitan Life, who I used to work for. When people die, and there's not a book of records like I just ordered of every insurance company, every bank account, every loan, everything. If you don't get a book like that, there may be $1 million insurance policy that's been being paid on that you don't collect on. If you don't know if the person that had it was your spouse, your brother, your sister, your partner, it doesn't matter. If they didn't put it on paper, it doesn't exist because you can't read Skyworks. You can't just say, ESP, are there insurance policies that I should know about that was never written down that I could get $100 million from? I mean, $1 million from? Yeah. This was on one of the major networks once. How much money insurance companies make because they don't pay out. They don't have to pay, but they don't look up people that die. Can I tell you this right off the bat, that if nothing's changed, and you know why they don't look up people that die, don't you? So they don't have to pay them all. Pay off the beneficiary. You don't even need a first grade education to figure this one out. If you own, let's say Prudential Insurance or New York Life, are you going to look up in the paper all over the world, look in the paper to see if any of the ones over the world that are insured by you died? Are you going to do that? Well, of course you wouldn't. You're one person. Now, if you're an insurance company trying to keep the staff down, are you going to hire an extra 100 to 200 people to look at every paper in the world to find out if one of your policyholders died so that you can send their wife or their partner or whoever the beneficiary is? Are you going to do that? Or are you going to keep the money? Need I say more? I'm ready for this. I try to only share information that is either funny, educational, or just chatting like I did last night, which there may have been something educational in it. Tonight is strictly educational, 100%. I know I look like a guy that lives on the street, but that's okay. You've heard the truth. And you may have only heard the truth, and you may never hear the truth, except during this video. And if you've heard the truth for the first time, would you let me know? Now, I'm very slow responding. Somehow or other, some of them are blocked. Some of them I can't seem to answer. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my $220 Dell computer that I bought used from Amazon 12 years ago. I don't put a lot of money in technology since this is working well. But I'm just saying, if you don't hear from me, I've tried. If there was any way to get back with you. So many times it'll say, you got 7 or 10 people that sent responses. And then I'll hit on my side as the owner. I'll hit that so I could respond. It'll say, "Do you want to?" It will say, "You want to respond?" I'll hit it. There'll be nothing. I'm not the only person on YouTube this has happened to. There's several people that's reported it. There's several people that's reported that responses have been taken down. The people left. Oh, this is a bonus. If you don't hear from people that you sent a response to, don't always blame it on them. It could be blocked. Now, I'll tell you one other thing. I have heard that if powers above don't like what's being said, like me talking to you today, it can be removed. And then the person, like me, will know someone disagreed with what I said. Now, I've only heard this from 2 or 3 different people. But let me tell you one thing. There's at least 100 such videos as mine that uses the F word and the S word. Not only the F word one time, but the F word 3 times a minute. They're still on. But I've been told to stay away from politics. Okay, so I have. If you want to subscribe, this is my style. I don't know when I'll ever set up a real studio. A friend of mine that got me into this, I'll see him tomorrow and eat lunch with him. His name's Steve Tivis. The life and sad ending is his, and it's good, okay? He's professional. I'm not. I'm at the 0 end of professionalism. He's at the 10 end. His name is Steve or Stephen Tivis. He's got another one down too. I think it's all wheels down, but I'm not sure. But the main one that he's got is the life and sad ending of. Now, when he came out with that, it did spectacular. So much that about 10 other people came out with the same title, with maybe one word changed or maybe no words changed. He tried to reason with them, but he never heard from them. So his name, that's why I'm giving you his name. Steve Tivis. Tevis. And again, he's the one that's helped me get this far. And that's not very far because he lives in Michigan and here I'm living here in Indiana. And I'll see him tomorrow. I'll see him two to 4 times a year when he visits his dad. So if you like it, feel free to put thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, this is my style. Have a great day now.